Okay, let's dive into this. We've all been there, scrolling through endless reviews, comparing specs, hunting for the absolute best deal on a new smartphone. We're pretty much experts at buying stuff. But when it comes to our health, suddenly all those rules just go right out the window. Today, we're going to unpack why choosing a doctor is a totally different ballgame and what it really tells us about trust.
I mean, it sounds completely ridiculous, right? But asking this question gets right to the heart of the matter. Trying to apply normal, everyday marketing to healthcare just feels, well, it feels wrong. It's because it clashes with just how serious this decision is. It points to a huge disconnect that I think we all feel instinctively. So, what's really going on in our heads?
And here's that disconnect, laid out plain and simple. On one hand, you buy a product. The risk, pretty low. If you don't like it, you can usually just send it back. It's a casual thing. You're focused on features and deals. But healthcare, that's high stakes. It is a deeply, deeply personal decision. You're not just comparing offers. You're trying to figure out who you can literally trust with your life.
And it's so important to remember what's actually on the line here. We're talking about your body, your safety, your confidence, and your well-being for years, maybe even decades to come. These aren't just bullet points. They represent our vulnerability in these moments. And that vulnerability, that's exactly why we make these choices so differently.
So this brings us to a really crucial idea, a fundamental shift in what the goal of communication even is. See, when you're shopping, the goal is pretty clear. It's persuasion. But in a doctor's office, the goal isn't to sell you on something, it's to provide something much, much deeper. The difference here is just night and day. Consumer marketing is all about persuasion. It's designed to create desire, maybe a little urgency, to get you to make a purchase. Healthcare communication has the exact opposite job. Its purpose is to lower a patient's fear, their anxiety, their uncertainty. It's about creating calm, not a rush to the checkout counter. And that whole process, it starts right here. Before a single diagnosis is made, before any treatment plan is even discussed, a patient has to feel like their story, their worries, their questions, all of it is being truly listened to. Next up, they have to feel safe. This is just non-negotiable, right? It's that core feeling that tells you your well-being is the absolute top priority, that you're in a place where you're protected and in truly capable hands. And finally, patients need to feel understood. Now, this is more than just hearing the words they're saying. It's that powerful feeling of confidence you get when you know deep down that your doctor gets it. They understand your unique situation with both professional expertise and real human empathy. So if the whole mission is to dial down that uncertainty and make people feel heard, safe, and understood, how does that trust actually get built? Well, it turns out it stands on three really solid pillars. This path to building confidence is really all about answering three silent but incredibly powerful questions that every single patient is asking themselves. First, there's reassurance. Did I make the right choice coming here? Then comes expertise. Do these people actually have the skills to fix my problem? And finally, compassion. Do they see me as a person? Do they actually care?
Let's start with reassurance. This is that make or break first impression. It's that immediate gut feeling that calms your nerves and tells you, okay, I'm in good hands. This is the foundation everything else is built on. If you don't have this, nothing else really matters.
The second pillar is expertise. Now, this is what gets someone to actually take action. Showing real authority and credibility isn't about bragging. It's about giving someone clear, undeniable proof that you have the know-how to solve their problem. That's the thing that turns a maybe I'll call into a booked appointment. And that final pillar, compassion. Oh, this is the game changer. This is what takes the relationship from being just a transaction to being one built on deep emotional trust. Empathy is what shows a patient that they're not just another case file or a medical condition. They're a human being that this team genuinely cares about. Okay, so when we put all these pieces together, the high stakes, that deep need for reassurance, these three pillars of trust, it leads us to a really powerful conclusion about what a patient is truly ultimately searching for. The biggest difference really boils down to this. Regular marketing is focused on selling a product, but great healthcare communication, it focuses on guiding a patient, guiding them through what might be one of the most difficult and vulnerable experiences of their entire life. The whole mindset shifts from being a seller to being a guide. So, what does it actually mean to guide someone? Well, it means you're constantly emphasizing safety above all else. It means you're being totally transparent so the patient always knows what's going on and why. A guide makes education a huge priority, empowering the patient to be a partner in their own care. And it means every single conversation is a chance to build trust, not to use sales tactics.
Because when you really lean into that role as a guide, you start to realize the end goal isn't what most people think it is. The real product isn't the surgery. It's not the medication. The real product is confidence. Confidence that you are in the right place with the right people making the absolute best decision for your life. That feeling, that certainty, that is what every patient is looking for. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Go back in your own mind to the most important health decisions you've ever had to make. What was it that gave you that feeling of confidence? Was it that immediate sense of reassurance? Was it their clear expertise? Or was it that feeling of genuine compassion? Thinking about that might just give you a whole new way of looking at your own healthcare journey.